Hello friends, I am Nursingh Panda, welcoming you to my channel Pharmagyan. I am associated with Mankind Pharma Limited Sikkim in Quality Assurance Department, and I have 10 years of experience in quality assurance. In my previous video, I have discussed with you about grouping strategy that is used in cleaning validation. And right now in this video I will discuss about some general things about cleaning validation. So let's see. Definition of cleaning validation. Cleaning validation is a documented evidence of a high degree of assurance that the cleaning process is capable of removing previous product residue, process residue and environmental contaminants to an acceptable level so that there will be no impact on the next product that is to be manufactured using the same equipments with respect to all quality attributes of the next product. That means cleaning validation is actually performed to check the capability of a cleaning process, such that it can remove the previous product contaminants or residues, process residues. For example, if cleaning agents or some cleaning solvents are used, then that should also be removed. And also the environmental contaminants means the bioburden or microbial growth, that should also be removed or reduced to an acceptable level so that there will be no contamination or impact on the next product with respect to its quality, efficacy, potency and also stability. Then why cleaning validation should be performed? Cleaning validations should be performed to check the capability of the cleaning procedure uh, for preventing the contamination to the next product, and to assure the safety, quality and efficacy of the next product that are to be manufactured in the same equipment. And also cleaning validation is a regulatory requirement. So now we'll see what different guidelines are telling about cleaning validation. First one is US FDA. FDA revised its guidance on the equipment cleaning under section 211.67 in 21 CFR on April 1, 2018, and FDA requires that the equipment and utensils shall be cleaned, maintained and age appropriate for the nature of the drug, sanitized and or sterilized at appropriate intervals to prevent malfunctions or contamination that would alter the safety, identity, strength, quality or purity of the drug product beyond the official or other established requirements. Previously, in previous version of 21 CFR, the words that are appropriate for the nature of the drug and sterilize, that words are not there in the 21 CFR part 211 in its previous version, and in 2018 the FD has included these words in its statement in the section 211.67. Then other guidelines like EMA, European Medicines Agency, EMA, the guidance becomes effective in June 1, 2015, which stated that SBEL, that means health-based exposure limits, should be established for all medicinal products. And EMA made it mandatory to establish the SBEL for all the drug products based on the permitted daily exposure PDE values as described in the Appendix 3 of ICH Guideline Q3C Revision 4. That means EMA has adopted the PDE calculation as described in Appendix 3 of ICH Guideline Q3C Revision 4. Then come the WHO guideline. WHO in its guideline WHO TRS 957-2010, Annexure 2, titled WHO Good Manufacturing Practices for Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients. It emphasizes the worst case approach, and the selection should be on the basis of solubility and difficulty in cleaning, and the calculation of residue limits should be on the basis of potency, toxicity and stability. And in its another guideline, that is WHO TRS 937-2006 Appendix 3, that is for the drug products of cleaning validation drug products. It stated that that same worst case approach shall be followed based on three criteria only, that is visual cleanliness 10 ppm criteria and dose criteria. So there are two contradictory statements in WHO in its two guidelines. That means WHO is very unpredictable about the calculation of residue limits based on toxicity in its two guidelines. In one guideline, that is in 957, it is saying that it will be based on toxicity limit also, but in it's another guideline in TRS 937, it is not mentioning any toxicity based residue calculation. Another thing is that it is very unclear about the stability of a residue as stated in WHO TRS 957 Annexure 2. Then comes PICS guideline, that is the Pharmaceutical Inspection Convention and Pharmaceutical Inspection Cooperation Schemes. PICS followed EMA guideline, and it released its guideline, that is PI 046 version 1, which became effective from July 1, 2018. And PICS adopted the PD based calculation in its guideline. Similarly, TGA, that is Therapeutic Goods Administration, also followed the PICS and adopted the PD based guideline, PD based calculation. Then comes PDA, Parenteral Drugs Association. Parenteral Drugs Association released its two guidelines, that is PDA TR 29 and PDA TR 49 for cleaning validation of drug products and biotechnological products respectively, and it adopted acceptable daily exposure ADE calculation in its guideline. ADE is also very similar to that of the PDE as mentioned and adopted by other regulatory guidelines. Then comes EPIC, that is Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients Committee. EPIC revised its 2014 version guideline to include the EMA based HBL concept in its in the year 2016, and it has mentioned both AD and PD calculation in its current version of guideline. However, in comparison to other guidelines, it has given some more relaxation when calculating the previous product residues based on the rating procedure that is had mentioned in its guideline. In my further slides, I will tell you about this. Then requirements for carrying out cleaning validation program. The requirements are given below as knowledge about product residue means its physicochemical properties like its solubility, its potency, what cleaning agents are required to clean it properly, and then SOPs having detailed cleaning procedures, then trained and experienced operators in production department and subject matter experts from production engineering, QC and QA, then risk assessment also included in this, then cleaning validation protocol, sampling tools, analytical instruments for analysis of samples, validated analytical method, trained persons for sampling and analysis of samples and for filling out the cleaning validation reports, and responsible persons for reviewing and approval of protocol and reports. Then clinic validation program. The clinic validation program includes the followings like selection of a cleaning method, selection of scientific basis for contamination limit, selection of worst case related to the equipment, selection of worst case related to product, establishing storage period after cleaning, selection of sampling methods, selecting the analytical method, and documenting the program. And I will discuss all the points in my further videos. So this is all about general idea about cleaning validation. Hope you will like it. So please watch it, like it, share it, and please subscribe my channel, that is Pharmagyan. Thank you very much.